Welcome to FTB Weekends. We're recording this Saturday, the 25th of June, 2022. I almost said 2018. And it's 1:08 p.m. Eastern time in the afternoon, in case you're wondering when we're recording this. In case stuff changes after this happens. Our first story is probably not going to change, but I'm Jason C. McLean, and welcome, of course, Dawn McSweeney.
Hello.
Hello. It's really hot out there, Dawn.
I have AC and I haven't been outside yet.
Oh, I have. I wanted to get a beverage at the store, and I was like, do I really want to go to the store to get a beverage? Like, I wanted the beverage, but I didn't want to go to the store to get the beverage. That was the problem.
I brought LaCroix last night, so I am ready.
That's some smart planning. Okay, we'll start with the news. Something that's people.
I don't want to.
Never... Okay. Sorry. We got to. That's what this is all about, the news. Okay, so yesterday in a 6-3 decision, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. That's the big news. That's the really sad news.
Are they even a first world country anymore?
I don't know.
Like, I know they think they're awesome, and a bunch of places probably think they're awesome because they haven't really been paying attention, but they're not really awesome.
No, but I mean, some parts of it are. Like that. I like Buffalo.
I know, bro. It's so weird. But no, I mean, just in general, this is miserable. We saw it coming. I feel like, thank goodness we saw it coming, because otherwise a lot of people would have been a lot more shocked and miserable. But everybody's still mad, like less shocked, more mad. Yay for Canada. Not that we're great, but also great in comparison, which is a low bar, but what are you going to do?
Well, here's where probably a lot of people might be coming if they're in one of those states where they can't get legal access.
Yep. And we should be offering it with both hands,
Yeah. I don't.
Okay, so here's the thing, because I have a uterus, so I'm pro-choice, and obviously, and what I think is cool about being pro-choice is, so I didn't have my daughter because, oops, I got pregnant. I had my daughter because I chose to have my daughter. And let the record show, I still screwed the pooch on parenting pretty good. So if you have to have the child, you're not really setting them up for a great story. You're not setting the parents up for a great story. It's just not anybody's business whether or not I have a child. And it's barbaric. This is what we're seeing as barbarism. Like, this is just so backwards. Interestingly enough, Judaism allows for abortion. So in some cases, this then presents a freedom of religion interesting thing, because it's funny, because everybody's always like the thing is, they didn't separate church and state, and this was made with evangelical Christians and moral police whose business it isn't. This was made with their votes in mind. And the fact is, just because you're a raging modern version of Christianity doesn't mean that your laws get to apply to everybody who isn't.
Christianity doesn't even outlaw abortion, I don't think. I believe that there's part of the Bible that sort of gives instructions on how to do it.
Yeah, that's probably the one the Jews are going by too. It's probably in some Old Testament.
Probably the Old Testament,
So this is such misguided, puritanical, retrograde policy that it's like you're just pulling everybody backwards while you're shooting children in schools. You're forcing children to make children. Like, that's what you've said here. The
same people who claim to care about the unborn are the same ones.
Only when they're theoretic people. As soon as they're actually a responsibility, and it's something beyond, when it's something beyond the virtue signaling of, think about the children, and you actually have to put on your pants and think about the children, they're not the ones showing up. So
but even in the States, it's a minority of people. The majority still supported Roe versus Wade. It's just the fact is that their political system really caters to a minority. It's set up in a way that it has to cater to either a minority or what the investors want. So it's kind of like their politicians don't even speak for them. The people who actually support, who are actually that regressive, that they've cared about this and have had a long-term plan to get their judges in the Supreme Court, are a minority of the population.
As long as their lobbying system exists as it does, it's really just politics for sale.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, there's political corruption in Canada too. I'm not saying we're not, but at least we're not. In no way does this allow us to have a system that caters to the most extremely regressive forces out there. Like extremely regressive. I mean, there are some regressive forces out there that get catered to, but it's in different areas. It's not like in body autonomy or anything.
Yeah,
like
once again, we're great in comparison, but yeah, it's
we have a pretty bad. Well, I mean, let's Bonne Saint Jean.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
We're gonna move on to Quebec. Saint Jean Baptiste Day was yesterday. No, even though I always say Bonne Saint Jean because I believe, but I don't necessarily like the way the Quebec government's been interpreting it this year.
This year was interesting because this year's theme was I love my language, which also I could get on board with because I also love my language. So why do we have to make what's usually such a unifying yay for being here holiday? Why does it have to be linguistic? And why does secularism only apply when it doesn't have to do with things the French love?
Yeah, well, you were talking before. Apparently, this is a holiday that celebrates Quebec and Jesus's cousin. See, I didn't know.
Yeah, so Saint John the Baptist. I checked a couple of places. The encyclopedia, Canadian Encyclopedia.ca. Yeah, literally, the Canadian Encyclopedia.ca calls him his cousin of Jesus. So I did a quick search and found that they are related. Theoretically, probably cousins, but regardless,
I'm saying probably on the mother's side, because on the father's side, Joseph's technically the father's God, right? So like God, how would that be? Like God would have a brother. Then we're getting
don't
into
you ask me about this nonsense.
We're getting into like pantheistic beliefs, which Christianity isn't. So that would be kind of a weird.
I was raised that we're all the children of God. So,
okay.
But so the thing is that this was, of course, the solstice was being celebrated by all the cool pagan kids like you do. And then when, the French usurped the Roman Catholic Church or whatever, or however we want to do it in France, the Roman Catholic Church adapted the holiday. Yes. So the way some Catholics took Easter and were like, now we're going to do Ostera, and they stole a spring celebration there. This is the equivalent of the solstice celebration, just repackaged as a celebration of John the Baptist. And somehow this is now
a celebration of Quebec.
Yeah, this is where I'm all confused. So secularism,
I don't think he was ever, and he's also the patron saint of teachers, you found out, right?
Yeah. I found out he's the patron saint of teachers, which is of course ironic because Bill 21.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as the one thing, generally, I think Saint Jean Baptiste Day, like whatever you call it, it's a Quebec holiday. That's generally a good thing. Although Legault this year, apparently he used Saint Jean Baptiste Day to speak out against multiculturalism.
Oh yeah.
He said that basically he prefers what's the exact? I'm just going to pull
the
it up.
Exact word was we can't treat all cultures as equal.
Well, okay. I cannot minimize this while I'm doing the recording, so I can't flip to the other tab there. But I guess I can. Wait a second. He actually says he prefers something called
interculturalism.
Yeah, as new immigrants are expected to integrate and adapt to Quebec culture.
Assimilation. The word he's looking for is assimilation.
Yeah, that's not that. Like, I mean, that's the beauty. That's one of the beauties of Canada is that, like, for example, the States was always considered to be the melting pot, whereas Canada was always described to me as a tossed salad.
Yes, and I think our tossed salad serves us well, and especially in Montreal, I can't imagine it as some sort of monolithic French cultural experience. That's not what this is. This is Lebanese food next to sushi. This is a tossed salad, and I'm offended as an Anglophone, as a Jew, as an Irish person, as an everything. I'm as an everything. This is just like, you said the quiet part out loud. We know you're racist. You just said you're racist. You're promoting xenophobia. Your base is, if you're pandering to your base, you are admitting that your base is xenophobic. Yeah. What in life? At what point do my rights as a Canadian kick in and I get to say that this is some crazy shit, right?
Yeah. Well, he's pandering only because he lost a lot of his base with his
he's still
COVID
gonna
policies. Yeah.
He's still gonna win, you know.
Yeah, because he's doing this kind of stuff. And also,
which is the crazy part, when your version of pandering is not only, if we win the next election, we'll cut you a check, but it is also to go ahead and to say these things out loud. And those are the people you're trying to attract. Like, it's creepy to me. I don't like it. My feelings are super hurt as a Quebecer in a way that they haven't been hurt in a long, long time. And actually, I didn't participate in any Saint Jean activities because, to be honest, I didn't like the idea of the people who would be showing up to say, I love my language and fuck multiculturalism. That made me nervous.
Yeah, it makes a lot of people nervous, and it's not very welcoming. And one thing, speaking about Quebec politics, the SQDC strike apparently has been resolved.
Oh, cool. Did they get more money? I didn't see this.
I'm not sure, but apparently I heard a rumor there might have been resolved. I'd have to, I don't think it's official yet, but one thing I found interesting about the strike, because I didn't really understand this. I always thought that the SQDC was part of the, like, why is it not just run like the SAQ? And that's because when originally Quebec decided, and I was like, why? And if Legault didn't want it to be run like the SAQ, why did he want to nationalize it in the first place? And I remembered something. The cannabis legalization is a federal law, and the different provinces decided how to do it. It was actually the Liberal government under Couillard, I believe, who decided that in Quebec weed would be run by the government. He's the one who made that decision and put it under the SAQ. But then Legault came in for the implementation and said, no, we're going to privatize that little sub company of the SAQ, because Legault loves the private sector too. He loves the private sector more than anything. So that's why they weren't getting the same kind of conditions as the SAQ workers, because it's actually a privatized subset of, like, a privatized company run by the SAQ, but not as the SAQ.
It's interesting because, different provinces run it differently, and I'm not sure our model is the best. The government products it's fair to say, are not the best, but the way that we do it here, it doesn't seem like Quebec wants to be in the weed business. It seems like they have to be, and so they're just doing the bare minimum.
Well, the previous premier wanted to be in the weed business, and the current premier doesn't. That's the problem. Like, I
have some feelings about the current premier.
Yeah, exactly. But one thing he's also was incredibly, he's anti-worker. Like, he's like Doug Ford in that way. That's one of the thing. That's one of the things that we don't always talk about with him. He's like right wing through and through. And one of the ways he is right wing is that he's very anti-worker as well too. Well, on that note,
there are fireworks starting tonight. The international fireworks Laronde bit is back after an all too long hiatus. So there are a few options to go watch it. You can go on the bridge is going to be you can go hang out on the bridge to go watch it. There are tickets and spots to watch it if you want to be bougie in the Old Port, or you could just go to the Old Port. Don't forget, it goes along with the music, so everybody will have their radios cranked, and we could get back to a little bit of the Montreal that we love and miss.
Yes, and you can also follow Dawn McSweeney at McMoxie on Twitter and Instagram. Me at Jason C. McLean on Twitter and Instagram. You can get our Android app. If you're on Facebook, like this video, share it, follow us on Facebook. Follow us on at Forget the Box on Twitter, at Forget the Box on Instagram. Yes, and also for daily content, including all of our festival coverage coming up. We're going to have some Just for Laughs coverage coming up. Make sure to check out. Just get this little thing up there. Make sure to check out forgetthebox.net. We'll catch you next week for another FTB weekend.